Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I picked up from my FFL a Kel-Tec RDB. So this has been kind of on my watch list for quite some time, and Kel-Tec's got its haters. I've always kind of, I wouldn't say I'm a hater, but I've just never really been much into their stuff. I just really didn't like the looks of it, or just didn't seem practical for my needs. However, when the RDB came out several years back, along with the RFB, I really started watching Kel-Tec a little bit closer. And as much as I liked the RFB as far as the design of it, I couldn't pull the trigger on picking up that RFB. It just seemed like didn't have much of product support, and I know early models were pretty problematic, and I even think the RDB had some issues too. But the last few years, I've really been kind of monitoring the RDB because it did seem a little more practical for my needs. And just kind of watching, the track record for the RDB, it's been pretty positive. Aside from the usual haters that like to post on the YouTube channels about how Kel-Tec's trash. So far, what I've seen, just from people posting the last few years, newer videos the last few months, it's getting a lot of positive feedback, and I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for mine. So, anyways, enough jabbering here. I went and picked up my Kel-Tec today, and looked at it at the gun shop. Just did a quick once over on the outside, functions check. All seemed well. So I get home, and first thing I want to do is I kind of want to give you guys a close up of, I guess, the quality or workmanship of it. Now, there is a lot of polymer. I know that's probably the first thing you're going to say as well. It's plastic. How much quality can we be talking about? And kind of one of the big points that's always noted for the RDB is the front handguard, and that was kind of my worry too. Is just going to be flimsy garbage. I probably will replace this at some point, but when I took it out of the box, I kind of pushed on it, and I really didn't have any flex in it whatsoever. And you can kind of see the inside of it there. It's just hollow. So yeah, your first assumption is this thing would be pretty flimsy. It seemed to lock up pretty solid, guys. While I'm squeezing on this, there's really not much flex to this thing at all. Especially anything really noticeable. Like right now, I'm kind of squeezing it. So it seems pretty solid. Really, quality-wise, the only thing I saw was it looks like from where they injection molded it, where it broke free. And kind of, let me get this a little bit closer. That's really the only two things I noticed on any of the plastic was these 2 points here. And honestly, these could probably be cleaned up with a small file, or maybe lightly stone it. Just they're not really rough. I see that on Magpul magazines too, where they kind of sand the back. I guess the injection molding where it's kind of tied together. So I don't know if that makes sense, but anyways, yeah, I was kind of surprised. Yeah, even though I probably will replace this with a metal forend or foregrip, I think this will be just fine for now. I slid a Magpul AFG on there. So it locks up pretty tight. It's not real loose, so pleasantly surprised with the handguard. As far as the lower receiver, some of the things I was kind of concerned about that I really couldn't tell in other people's videos was some of the details. Like I said, the plastic, the molding is very clean. Metal sling loops, something I wasn't aware of. They've kind of rubberized the end of the mag release here. Other metal sling loops. I thought all these were plastic, which a couple of them are. The ones up on the front handguard, those are plastic, and there's one on the back here. That's plastic. It's pretty heavy duty, but to be honest, I don't know if I'll even really use them. I'll probably use the metal ones, or find a way to attach some cups to this thing, QD mounts. But yeah, all the internal workings, very clean on the inside as well. There's no ragged edges, burrs on the metal. Didn't notice anything unusual in here. Everything just looked very clean. Good to go. So the pistol grip does seem, I guess it feels a little bit thin, but there's, I can feel just a slight bit of give if I squeeze really hard. But all in all, yeah, it seems pretty solid. The rear end where the mag well is, and the ejection chute's all rock solid. There's a stainless steel sleeve in there for where the shells eject out of. All the pins are captive. I know that's kind of a big thing with everybody. Back to the cheek rest and the butt pad. Very, very nice here. Nice TIG welds. I'm not sure if those are manually welded or automated, but they look nice anyways. This is all steel with kind of a plastic covering that's bolted on top of it for the cheek rest. But everything else, this whole thing's metal, with the exception of the butt pad. So the only thing I noticed on this is probably the only burr I found on the entire rifle, was right on the inside of the hole here. I don't know if maybe their drill speed was fast, or maybe the bit was starting to get a little dull. I can just feel a little bit of a burr, guys, but this is the only spot. Everything else, machine-wise, it all looks real good. So, but even this could be cleaned up very quickly. As far as the bolt, all Parkerized. Trying to do this. I'm sitting here in my underwear too, guys, so I'm trying not to give you a crotch shot, but I'm also trying to give you some close-up so you can actually see the quality of this. And my lighting's not the greatest. It's all Parkerized finish on the bolt carrier and the bolt. Wasn't heavily oiled from the factory, but the push rod here, that just slides up and down inside of it here. You can see we got dual ejectors in our... Oh, this camera sucks. I apologize. There we go. That's a little bit better. So you can see very AR-like on the actual bolt itself, but they're actually probably a little heavier duty than the AR locking lugs, but the front end of them is kind of tapered back a little bit. Yeah, very, very nice machining on this. And it looks like the piston itself has been TIG welded to the bolt carrier. There you go, you can kind of see it a little bit there. So I got a little bit of a weave path on that, both sides. Pretty clean. It's not undercut real bad or anything like that. Pretty clean looking weld. Again, not sure if they're automated or not. It kind of looks automated, but I don't know. Yeah, clean welds, but functionality wise, bolt looks real clean. And then last little bit here, we got actual barrel. So you can see there is our our bolt is threaded in to the trunnion there, and we have a barrel nut, actual pick rail on top. These look white, but they kind of have more of a goldish hue to them. I think they're just laser inscribed. They're not recessed letters and numbers. I know the rail was always a big issue as far as people being concerned it would come loose, but I didn't feel any movement in it whatsoever. But the barrel itself, real nice machining on it. And then just a Parkerized A2 bird cage, and then got a lock nut back here. So from what I've heard, these are a bitch to get off, so we're going to find out. I don't have any plans to change it out soon, but I imagine at some point I will. But the barrel looks to be blued or nitrided, whereas the compensator is Parkerized. But yeah, really clean machine work on this. And one thing I've always been curious of is how, when I was looking at these online, was how the lockup was for charging handle. So it's kind of grooved where it locks in here, but this is where you can change it out to make it right or left-handed charging. So this was kind of a point for me where I was a little bit worried. It seemed like kind of chintzy, but after playing with it a little bit, it seems pretty solid, to be honest. Now up at the gun shop, I did see one of the new RDB Defenders that came in. Actually, if I probably would have bought it if they would have had it a week sooner. But I got a pretty good deal on this 20-inch RDB, so I got it on Gunbroker for just a little over $8. But anyways, back to what I was originally saying, the RDB Defender has a different charging handle. It actually is one that kind of stuck out. It wasn't like this. It actually seemed a little, I liked it a little better, I guess is what I'm getting at. It kind of protruded, kind of like a Tavor, I guess, where it didn't fold or articulate like this one does, but seemed a little more robust. I don't know if that's something aftermarket that we can buy that will match up with the standard RDB. I don't know, so your guess is as good as mine. Maybe somebody can let me know in the comments. But yeah, at this point I was kind of worried about it. I thought maybe it was going to be kind of chintzy, but it seems pretty solid, so that's a plus. We kind of see the gas system here. from what I've heard, new reports, gas system's coming pretty good from the factory. People aren't having to screw with it a whole lot unless you're doing some really weird stuff with your ammo as far as reloads, or maybe using some really underpowered stuff. You may have to mess with it. But so yeah, I mean, you can feel definitely positive detents there, but yeah, they're like quarter turns or so, maybe not quite quarter turns, but yeah, I don't think there's any worry about that coming loose while you're shooting. Definitely positive lock in there. But I'm gonna do, I know Chad from Kel-Tec just put out a video on how he would definitely set the gas system for the RDB and for the RFB, and I'm gonna follow his guidelines. However, I think the instruction manual that comes with the gun, I think it kind of outlines exactly what he says. But I think the gas is probably the #1 thing that causes people problems. They just take it out of the box and they try to run it, and they start having all kinds of malfunctions, and then they just call the gun a piece of shit. So yeah, I'm gonna reserve judgment until I actually get this thing out to the range and shoot it. But today I just wanted to give you a close-up of the workmanship of the rifle. I think I pretty well hit everything up. So guys, if you got any questions about the rifle as far as components with it, or just you know, maybe some fit up of it, feel free to leave a comment. I am going to make a video of me doing my gas adjustment, if any. I'm going to go to the range and do what Chad from Kel-Tec said to do as far as adjustment, and I will let you guys see that process. So hopefully it doesn't turn into a train wreck, and I look forward to your comments, guys. So love it or hate it, leave a comment. Talk to you later.